This is everything that you need to know to build the best Shorekeeper ever. The Shorekeeper is the best healer in the game and the only multiple character. Her healing scales with HP. What are her team-wide buffs? Crit rate and crit damage buff. 15% damage amp, which is better than damage bonus. Free perfect dodge to fix skill issue. Revive characters with 0 HP. Crowd control. Healing. 10% energy regen for her and Rover. Attack buff if you have her weapon. So yeah, she basically has every buff and more. Alright, let's start with her basic attacks first. So it's a 4-hit combo that does spectral damage. And it gives you 140 stack on hit. Her third basic attack will pull the enemy, and it gives you 240 stacks instead of 1. So a full 4-hit combo would max your 40. Each of her basic attacks also generates a collapsed core butterfly that track and attack the enemy after 6 seconds, dealing spectral damage. With her heavy attack, the Shorekeeper transforms into a butterfly and collects plants automatically. This will also drain your stamina. If you do a basic attack or if you run out of stamina, the transformation will end and the Shorekeeper will deal spectral damage. She will also generate data in the butterfly mode every 1 second. So these blue 40 stacks, which will be converted into her normal yellow 40 stacks. And the butterfly attacks from earlier. With their attack, you jump, do a plunging attack. It's the same as her basic attacks, just generates 40 stacks. And the butterfly, you can also do a basic attack right after landing to do stage 2 of her basic attacks. Dodge counter, the usual, you dodge, attack, deal spectral damage, and also get a 40 stack. Her skill, which can be used in mid-air, heals the whole team and summons 5 butterflies that track and attack the enemy, dealing spectral damage. You can also do a basic attack right after to skip to stage 2 of her basic attacks. When it comes to her 40, the Shorekeeper can hold up to 5 40 stacks. How do you get 40 stacks? You get 1 40 stack from her basic attack stage 1, 2, 4, dodge counter and mid-air attacks on hit. You get 2 40 stacks from her basic attack stage 3. How do you use her 40 stacks? When you have 5 40 stacks, you can do a heavy attack or mid-air attacks to consume all of her 40 stacks. What does her 40 do? It consumes all of her 40 stacks, pulls the enemy, deals spectral damage, and all of the generated butterflies will attack the enemies instantly. When you use up her 40 stacks through mid-air attacks, it won't pull the enemy. So I would recommend you to use her heavy attack instead to pull the enemies for crowd control. Her ultimate is her domain expansion. It spawns this big ring that has 3 stages, and each of these stages gives you different buffs. When you're inside the ring, you know what stage you're in by the color of the ring, and in order to upgrade a circle and go to a higher stage, you need to use a character's intro. This ring stays on field for 30 seconds. The first stage is the blue one. It just heals all of your party members every 3 seconds. The healing scales with HP. Second stage, purple, gives all of your party members up to 12.5% crit rate depending on your energy region. You need 250% energy region for a max 12.5% crit rate buff, and of course the healing from the blue circle stacks, so you'll get that too. Third stage, the yellow or golden ring, it gives all of your party members up to 25% crit damage depending on your energy region. You need 250% energy region for a max 25% crit damage, and of course you get all of the buffs from the previous circles too. So always switch to your main DPS last, since they will benefit from the crit damage boost the most. And in the golden ring, if you switch back to the Shorekeeper and use her intro, then the circle will end early and you lose all of the buffs. Intro, so she has 2 intros. With her normal intro, she heals the entire team and summons 5 butterflies that track and attack the enemy, dealing spectral damage, considered skill damage. As for her enhanced intro, it can be triggered if you trigger her intro while in her ultimate's golden ring circle. It will end her ultimate's golden circle, give you more concerto, heal your entire team. She also attacks the enemies with her nuke, dealing spectral damage, considered resonance liberation damage, and this attack will always crit, even if you only have 1% crit rate. This does a lot of damage at level 10, since it scales with her HP, but I don't recommend going for this, unless you have her weapon to do the max damage and her sequences, because without it, yeah, the damage is not that high, and you'll get more team damage if you invest your time and echo XP upgrading your main DPS instead. This is a build trap that a lot of players fall into, and with more concerto from her enhanced intro, it makes her next rotation a lot faster, so yeah, it's worth it. Outro, this will fix your skill issues. So for 30 seconds after you use her outro, if you get hit or launch into the air, you can tap the dodge button to immediately recover and do a perfect dodge. Even if you get launched into the mid-air by the enemy, you will just land on the ground again. You can trigger this up to 5 times during the 30 seconds, so yeah, no more skill issues. And you can check how many charges you have left on your 40, but that's not all. It also amplifies the damage of all of your characters by 15%. Again, this is damage amplification, which is a lot better than damage bonus. Oh, and if you're confused right now, then don't worry, you will understand her a lot better once we get to her rotations. So how do you activate a character's intro or outro? Well, if you look down here, each character has another bar called the concerto bar. You don't share it. Everyone gets their own concerto bar, and the value stays the same. When you change characters, you can fill up the concerto bar by hitting enemies with different attacks. So each attack gives you a different amount of concerto energy, which you can always see down here in the skill details. So yeah, ultimate gives 20, skill 15. You can always check it down here. And once you fill up the conserver bar all the way, all of your characters on the right will glow. And once you switch your character, the character who's leaving the field will activate their outro, and the character entering the field will activate their intro. Inherent skills. Inherent skill 1. Again, she fixes your skill issue. If any of your characters or in the Shorekeeper dies, she will use up 50% of her HP to revive that character. And don't worry, her HP will not go below 1, and it's gonna be triggered once every 10 minutes. Inherent skill 2. When you're in her ultimate circle, a Shorekeeper gets 10% energy regen, so you will only need 240% energy regen to get her max buffs. And Rover will get 10% energy regen too. Alright, when it comes to her skill priority, so for healing, you wanna start with her skill and her ultimate, and then her intro for some damage. Next we have her basic attack, and finally for circuit. And for damage, it's the same, except that you max her intro first. So yeah, level 10. But to be honest, most people just leave all of her skills at 6, except for her intro, since her healing is already pretty good, and you don't really need that much healing if you know how to dodge. But if you're struggling, then it's fine. There's nothing wrong with leveling her skills more for more healing. But yeah, most people just leave it at 6 because they dodge, and they can save up a lot of resources. When it comes to her weapons, she has 5 different options, and the best one is of course her signature weapon. It makes building her super easy because of the 77% energy regen, which is the highest in the game, and you don't really need to worry about the attack because she doesn't really need attack that much. So this weapon increases her HP by 12%, restores 8 Consero when you use her ultimate, so yeah, really good for her field time. And if the character who has this weapon heals through their skill, it will give your entire party a 14% attack boost for 30 seconds. Yeah, I know that's a long duration. So right now, the only characters who can trigger this are the Shorekeeper and Baiju. It's a great weapon to have, but you don't really need it. I only got it because I love the Shorekeeper, and she deserves the best. Next, we have the variation. Again, ER, which is needed for her build, and this weapon can be better than her signature if you have it at rank 5, since it gives her more Consero, so it lowers her field time by a ton. This is like double what I get from her signature weapon, and you can't really go wrong with this weapon if you max it, since every single healer in the game wants it. And I have like 3 extra copies. Yeah, pretty good. And you can hit her requirements pretty easily with this. Like if I switched it, you're up to 59. So yeah, pretty good weapon. Next you have Call of Abyss. Same ER as the variation, and it gives you healing bonus. You can get the weapon from the Shadow of the Towers questline in Renacida. And if you don't have those 3 options, then you can just craft your own weapon here. Rectifier 25. It gives the same 51% ER as a variation when you max it. But yeah, no Consero. So you'll have to spend more time on field with a Shorekeeper. So yeah, less team damage and also slower. But it's fine if you have no other options. And you don't even need to refine this weapon. Rank 1 is enough. And then lastly, if you have no other options, then as a placeholder, we have the Rectifier of Voyager. It gives you some ER. If you have no other options, then it's fine. But again, a weapon with Consero will make playing her a lot easier and a lot more fun. Trust me, man. Next, we have the Echoes. So when it comes to Echoes, I can only recommend one set. Yup, the Rejuvenating Glow set. It gives her 10% healing bonus and increases the attack of all of your party members by 15% for 30 seconds upon healing, which will do a lot. Please don't give her any of these 2 sets. I don't know why it says recommended here. When it comes to the forecasts, you have 2 options. So Turtle will give you a shield. It gives you 50% damage reduction and 10% damage boost for your team members. Again, the shield lasts for 15 seconds, and if you get hit 3 times, then you lose all of the shield's buff, so you'll have nothing. No damage boost, no damage reduction, everything is gone. I mean, this thing used to be good, but I can't recommend it anymore. And the better option is the Fallacy of No Return. It gives all of your team members 10% attack for 20 seconds, so already a lot longer, and 10% energy regen, so you will only need 230% energy regen with the Shorekeeper for her max buffs thanks to this, and her inherent skill too. But that's not all. The damage from this Echo cares with HP, and most people with a decent Shorekeeper build will have at least 30,000 HP, so this is the perfect Echo for the Shorekeeper, and you should have a few, since this boss also drops her essential materials. And look at how many aura points you can farm just by holding the Echo skill. Yeah, Jojo. When it comes to the Echo main stats, it depends on whether you want more damage than crit damage. Again, I don't recommend this unless you have her weapon and her sequences. Next, we have healing bonus if you need more healing, but what I would recommend is a balance between damage and healing. So yep, HP %. It's the best of both worlds, and this is what I have on her too. 3 cost double ER for max buffs, but if you're over capping with the ER, then you can use a Spectro or HP 3 cost instead. The 1 cost, of course, HP, since her healing scales with that. As for substats, if all you care about is healing, then you need at least 230% ER. That's it, and then some HP HP rolls too, and yeah, your Shorekeeper will be ready. But if you want more damage too, again, I only recommend it with her weapon and her sequences. Then again, you need 230% ER, the fallacy of no return echo, and then crit damage and resonance liberation damage. And finally, some HP rolls can be good too. When it comes to recommended stats, you want at least 30,000 HP. Level 90 gives you more HP, so the higher her level, the more HP she will have. This has really high scaling, ER 250, but you can lower this with the fallacy of no return and her inherent skill too, so you will only really need 220% ER. Some crit damage can be good if you have her weapon and her sequences, like let's say at least 230%. When it comes to teams, she can work in every single team in a game, and she's the best healer in a game and the best buffer. Like there's no team where you can't put her and she won't be the best. But I would recommend you to have a DPS and a sub DPS or a tool DPS, and then finally the Shorekeeper. So yeah, you can't go wrong with pulling for her. Are her sequences worth it? Well, let me just go through all of her sequences in under 20 seconds or 30 seconds. S1, bigger circle, so more range, plus 10 seconds ultimate duration, and enhanced intro no longer enters circle. S2, plus 40% attack to all of your teammates in her ultimate ring, good stopping point. S3, plus 20% turtle from her ultimate. S4, plus 20% healing bonus from her skill. S5, basic attack 3, pulling range plus 50% and 30% for his heavy attack. S6, big damage, plus 42% multiplier to enhance intro, and increases the crit damage of her intro by 500%. So yeah, HP 4 cost. What sequences will I try getting? Well, her S1, because it's really annoying to do damage tests and the enemy gets out of her buff range. Like that's super annoying, guys. I don't want to like spend 10 hours doing damage tests, so I'm going for S1. And since I'm going for S1, I can go for S2. This is a good stopping point. When it comes to her rotations, so her first rotation is a bit longer, but her second rotation will be a lot faster after you use her enhanced intro. So for her rotation, you start with a 4-hit basic attack combo to fill her Forte, followed by her heavy attack once her Forte is maxed. You do this combo 2 times to fill her conserver bar, and then use her skill, her echo, before her ultimate to get the 10% ER, and then use her ultimate and outro to your sub DPS. You then do your sub DPS's rotation to get their outro to your main DPS, so that you can get the Shorekeeper's full liberation buff and change the color of your ring to yellow. The second rotation is a lot easier thanks to you having access to her enhanced intro. So intro for basic attacks and a heavy attack, skill, echo, liberation, outro, and yeah, repeat. So is she worth pulling? Yes, of course, trust me. You'll love having her on your account. She fixes your skill issues, fits into any team, fixes your bad crit ratio, and makes any team work. She's the only most pull character in the game. I mean, let's be honest here. You got manipulated into getting her after playing her story, and if you didn't, then you're an evil man. You can join our Discord server if you need help with anything in the game. You can ping the game helper role, and you won't ever miss free asteroid codes or events, or if you need help farming her echoes. If this video helped you, then you can help me by liking and subscribing, and yeah, have a wonderful rest of your day or night. Thank you so much for watching.